What would it be like if this full moon on February 24th was the moment that you began to really live and to magnetize that life that you've been dreaming is possible for you, where everything could change in your reality and you could really begin living this new earth energetics that you know are possible, that you know are why you're here on this planet. Well, I'd like to share with you this one thing you can focus on in order to do that. But in order to get there, we need to break apart some of the old stories and energetics that we've been living in. And the first and most important one is that this moon is not in Virgo. And I know everybody out there in that mainstream narrative will be talking about this in Virgo. But if you actually look up in the stars, when the moon is in its fullness, just a specific moment of time on Saturday morning, depending on where you are. I'm in Colorado, so it's 5:30 a.m. on Saturday, and the moon is actually in Leo, up in the stars. That's where it is. So why are they saying it's Virgo? And how is this affecting us in our reality? And you see, 2,000 years ago, that was true. If we were in the same timing back then, the moon was in Virgo. But what happened was we fixed the system. We put it into these charts and we said, this is what truth is. This is what our relationship to the cosmos is. Did we know it at the time? I don't know, but the stars actually shift over time because of our precession, the way the earth shifts and the tilt of our axis. And so our relationship to the cosmos changes over time. And after many thousands of years, we'll come back around where actually the moon right now would be in Virgo. But it's not right now. It's in Leo. And how does this affect us in our lives? How does this system that we've aligned to for these thousands of years pulled us away from the natural rhythm of nature, of the cosmos? You know, is it working in your life to follow this Western tropical system? If it's working great, then stick with it. You know, if you feel like the world and where we're at in the state of the world is in a good place, if you feel like our connection to nature and the way we're living our lives is where we should be, then stick with that. But if you feel like maybe there's something here, this is what happened to me when I realized the truth of this. I was like, holy shit, why are we living in this way? There's certain reasons that the system was fixed that way and now it just follows the seasons and things of that nature. But if that's true, why are you saying that the moon is in Virgo? Because it's not. It's on Virgo in timing, or it's a February Virgo moon or something like that. But it's not actually in Virgo. It's a system that has taken us away from reality. And if we're ascribing all these energetics and power over our lives to that, how is that real for us? Is that keeping us limited? Is that keeping us in a framework that's not really alignment with the rhythm of the cosmos? That's what I'm feeling when I started to understand what I call the True Zodiac. Is this return to the truth of the stars, where this all began. We started with this relationship to the cosmos and the seasons and nature and timing and seeing the energetics that we're moving through. But then we solidified it into this rigid system, which now is not correct. So maybe in this full moon is an opportunity for you to actually embrace the reality of what's going on, and maybe this will bring some change, some shift in your life. So let's go take a look at the rhythm in the True Zodiac, and I can talk some more about the energetics of actually what is happening in the stars right now. Okay, so this is what I call the rhythm, and this is an an online system that I developed. And what we're looking at here is the True Zodiac in the rhythm. And you'll notice that around the outside here, we have all of the signs that we know in the zodiac. But here, they're in different sizes, and that's because this is the size of the actual constellations in the stars. And when our Western system was solidified, we made it into this equal grid of 12 signs, all the same size. And slowly over time, where they were in our system floated away from the way things are naturally in the sky. So not only do we create a rigid system that fixed them all in the same amount of time and size, but then that system floated off from where the stars actually are, where the constellations are, and where the planets actually are in relationship to them. And how has this affected our reality? It's a good question. You also notice there's this 13th one. It's called Ophiuchus. It's known as the 13th sign, and many people say that doesn't exist or shouldn't be a part of the zodiac or something, but it is actually there in the sky. And this is very powerful, energetic around the serpent bear, this rebirth, renewal of the serpentine energy, and this alignment to the very center of the Milky Way galaxy, this realignment to the cosmos, this reboot time of the year. I feel it's very important, energetic, that we just sort of said, maybe we don't need that one, Why? Because maybe there's a real power in that, in this power of the 13, We want to get things to this 12, this equal, everything's equal and simple and this is very feminine, to return to the natural rhythm of the cosmos. This is how things are. This is the birth of the zodiac. So why are we living in this limited reality, this limited version of it that's not even accurate anymore? And as you can see inside here, these are the symbols for all the planets and where they are in the cosmos through the belt of the zodiac, the circle of animals, these different energetics. And on February 24th at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time, because I'm in Colorado, but wherever time you are, this is based on like the global time, the moon is right here in Leo in the stars, not in Virgo. The Virgo's a simplified, rigid system chart that is not correct anymore. You can live by it because it's based on certain other things, like Aries starts in the spring and then it goes through the whole year, but that's not what's happening in the cosmos. And if we really think there's something to the energetics of the constellations, the stars, the rhythm of the actual reality that we're in, then maybe we should look at what's the truth. So that's what the True Zodiac is all about, and this tool that I've created, the rhythm at B-Source. This is something you can use in your life if you want, or just keep tuning into my channels. I'm going to share the wisdom coming through here, because these are the new earth energetics. I really believe we're here to shatter this paradigm of this old earth energy and this patriarchal, over toxic, masculinized reality. We need some balance here. We need to break free of some of these old patterns that have been keeping us limited and separate from nature, separate from our own power, from our innate rhythm that brings us alive in our natural essence and expression. And that's what this full moon is all about, being in this Leo, really embodying the passion and the power, the enthusiasm, the expression, the play, that you're here to live, what brings you really alive. And being that, being the center of attention, being in power. It's a beautiful energetic. And the moon sitting right down there all by herself. All the other planets are all over here. There's this one here, but this is the north and south node. This is the south node. So it's this moon node alignment thing. But otherwise, all the planets are up over here, almost exactly opposite. The sun is exactly opposite of the moon. That's why she's full at that moment. Completely opposite of the moon, or of the sun. And so around the outside here, all these numbers is this attunement that I feel that I'm here to help share with the world. And these are based on the 64 energetics of the I Ching, which is a 5,000-year-old oracle system from China that I've chosen to adopt as part of my life's work to really embody and work with these energetics, because I worked with them myself. My father introduced it to me. And as I began to use this oracle system, it began to change my life. And over time, I began to see the way it was changing my life was that it was connecting me with what's really true inside of me. It was helping me to find my own rhythm in my relationship to reality. And simultaneously, I was spending a lot of time out in the wild, out in the beauty of nature. And what I found there was that she was always showing me how freaking beautiful I am and how beautiful reality is. And as this began to dawn and other awakenings came in my life beyond that, I really broke free of all the old patterns of the old earth, knowing the truth of who I am, knowing that this is what we all are. This is the potential for all of us as we break free of the energetics of this old earth, which are keeping us limited, both in our own personal realities and in this collective experience. That's what's happening on this new earth expansion. As the new energy comes in, we keep embodying more and more of it, breaking free of all the limited old energetics and ideas, uplifting our whole experience of reality. And this is expanding the potential, so it makes it easier for more and more of us to step into this energy of the new earth, where we're really free as the source of our own experience, knowing that we are the source. We are one with this life and this world and with each other, and that there's purpose and power and wisdom in all things and experiences coming into our life. That's a power that's coming in right now. You can attune to it. And this 31 here is the source code that the moon is sitting in on Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m. when it's reaching its peak fullness, because the moon moves rather quickly in a day through all these. But this marks that energetic of the full, this vortex in the flow, attracting everything I need. I am magnetic. It's because when you are fully empowered in this vortex, this Merkaba field of our energy, centered in the heart, uniting the masculine and feminine energetics, the sun and the moon, our light and our dark, unified in the heart, we become this vessel of potential, just magnetizing reality, relating to reality, and things just show up in our lives before we even know it. But this vortex also works in the way of bringing things in our shadow, bringing things that challenge us. But what's the purpose of those? Is it just to be a pain in our ass? Is it just to cause us suffering, to make us depressed or angry? No, it's showing us where we're off, where we're out of our own rhythm, where we're not in the power of our vortex. That's why these things are showing up. Life is matching your energy. So instead of trying to blame the world or change or force things to be different, this is not to say to not take action in your life, but to come back into your center, to really connect into the truth of who you are in this vortex, in the heart. Then there's new potentials that can come. So as you move into this full moon, how can you do that? How can you become more beautifully empowered in the truth of who you are? To take another look at how we may do that, let's look at the sun, this opposing energy on the other side, sitting in source code number 41. And each one of these source codes being a very unique energetic, a different state of reality that we can embody in our consciousness, or a different key, these codes that can help us to unlock the ways that we're limited, help us come into greater alignment with the truth of who we are. So we can really move and flow as in this rhythm with ourselves and with reality. This is the new earth potential. And so the sun just on Saturday also will move right into this source code of balance. And the sun, each code lasts for around almost 6 days, 5.5 days or so, as it moves through the year, through the rhythm of the zodiac. So this one's all about balance and unifying the mind and the heart, which clears our energy. If you're having problems, you're having any kind of dissonance, basically any problem that ever shows up in your life in terms of how you're experiencing yourself or reality, the solution, the one solution, the number one thing, could really be the only spiritual practice you ever need, which is to learn to center in your heart, which is that vortex field, creating this balance, this calmness, this peace. Because that's the peace. That's the peace of God, the peace of love, the peace of what we are that comes in when we're actually in our center. This wholeness, this calm, and just to keep calm and on, how do you just keep moving on in your life despite the storm of what's going on? Just opening this one up, you can click on each one and just see the beauty of the mandalas, because each one has a very unique frequency of energetics that they're emitting, balancing the mind and the heart, or synchronizing the hemispheres of the mind. The sacred geometry patterns, and each one is based on a photograph. It's using a photograph of river ice, where the sun is shining through the ice, and so you have all these different energetics of light, water, nature coming through in these sacred geometry fractal patterns, sending information, giving you something to attune to. So both the mandala itself and the words are an attunement to a certain state that you can begin to practice in your life. And you have certain relationship to certain ones. Because if you look up your chart in the rhythm, you can see what your sun code is, which would be another one to bring in, or your moon. So it might be different energetic that's also coming through this vortex in this Leo expression of the moon, unique to you. You can find out. Go to B-Source. If you want to work with me directly, I also do readings and coaching with people. And you can go through this process of attuning to each of the energetics of the planets in your own personal chart. Begin to build a greater relationship to what's actually happening in the cosmos, in the world around you, allowing this rhythm of expression, of love, of potential to come through you, to be what you are as the source of your experience. That's what the potential of the new earth expansion that we are in right now. This is an invitation. I'm calling you in to be what you are. Because if you're here, you're one of the light workers on this team of the new earth, ready to really embody the energy of who you are and bring through the gifts that you're here to bring. Because it's a natural expression. When you really feel who you are, you feel this rhythm alive in you. You just want to share it with others. You want others to feel this freedom. So you know how bad it feels to be in the suffering of all these limitations, of the dysfunction that this modern paradigm has created, that we've created. But you can free yourself of that because you are greater than that. You are something beyond all of that. And so the source codes and the rhythm are just here to point you towards that, to be these energetics to help you to find this alignment within yourself, to help you understand yourself better, become more empowered in who you really are, when then you don't need any of these things. But they're a great tool and reminder and practices to help you to center and to clear and to integrate these stories and these patterns showing up in your life and become more and more free to be who you are, and the power and the manifestation, that magnetic potential that comes with all of that, to be and what you are, and to really love your life, because it's why you're here. So there's this beautiful alignment I feel is significant and interesting. The moon sitting opposite of all these other energetics. Just being in your own power. Allow that vortex to really expand as just what you are. Be in your power. That you're here. You are a sovereign being. And you know this. You're embodying this. You're not trying to think it. You are it. You know this. This is the real power that's waiting to be expressed and expanded in you as you step into the energy of this new earth. And then from there, as we collectively unite in this new energy, we can help uplift all of those who really are ready, who want to. This is not something we can impose on people. Merely an invitation by being the energy of truth, of love, to be the source. It's why we're here. So, beautiful opportunity to step more fully into that power. Find that playfulness. Allow that joy of who you are and that vortex of energy to expand. Allow your life to expand. Allow love to expand. For no reason other than it's just what you are. It's what feels good. It's the natural rhythm. So, wishing you much love and many blessings.